Baba Booey.
Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, gentle ladies and lady men, wait, what? Point is, hi, Hades here for this video, and today we're going to be talking about a manga that my pal Sufferance has talked about recently on his channel, and that's Dandadan. Fun fact, Sufferance is my waifu, and just in case Sufferance is watching this video, I'm so sorry you had to hear that, bro. Anyways, to kind of give you a feel of what Dandadan is, it's another exercising type series, not exercising like jumping, exercising as in demons, you know how it goes. Series like Phantom Seer, Jujutsu Kaisen, and all the whatnots. And in art style, it's a weird blend of all of these things, mainly stuff like Kaiju number 8 and Phantom Seer, but in fact, on a very surface level analysis, I would say it seems like the love child of Chainsaw Man and Hell's Paradise, or at least something akin to what those authors would be capable of. And if I'm not mistaken, Dandadan was actually recommended by both of these authors, but don't quote me on that one. However, it is a tone and a feel that, oddly enough, really feels like it's being pushed heavily, and I think that's due to the success of Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen. However, the saving grace with Dandadan is its execution is vastly different. I want to get this out of the way. In just the first 3 chapters, right, and there's only 3 chapters out, so you got plenty of time to catch up to it immediately, but from the first 3 chapters alone, the paneling and the artwork is amazing. Like, just from the first 3 chapters, I could pull up 1 or 2 panels that stood out and just bam. You know how when you're reading a manga, there's like those panels, like the panel that you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna remember that one. Yeah, Dandadan has a few of those early. It gives off a similar horror feel that I think Phantom Seer really showed potential with. Sadly, Phantom Seer was axed. May it rest in peace and get the love that it deserves. But what I'm trying to get at, and I'm all over the place, but forgive me, is Dandadan is really cool, but it's also really weird. And look, that says a lot. I've read stuff like Homunculus, Fire Punch, Chainsaw Man. Like, those stuff are weird. This is like weird from the jump, like a different weird. Not only in the way it presents itself at times, like I said, it gives like a disturbing, eerie horror feel with the way it shows some of its characters. You know what anime does when like a character goes insane and like their face is like really zoomed in, but kind of like warped like a circle. I don't know how to explain it, but you know what I'm talking about. So like what I was trying to get at before you just heard me have a malfunction is that's like standard weird. It's something you're expected to. But you're gonna just keep in mind getting into Dandadan, it's gonna say some things that are gonna catch you off guard. That's what I'm trying to get at. What can I tell you about the premise that won't spoil everything? So essentially, you have this girl, so like she's a girl, right? No, but in all seriousness, you have the typical high school girl, but she meets this high school boy. But the high school boy usually in the dynamics is like the super cool one. Nah, it's a nerd, right? And at first it starts off with her saying how she wants a man like this. Ironically, turns out that that man and that kid do have something in common, but you're gonna have to read that to find it out. And through some weird dare, you know, she basically says, I don't believe in aliens and whatnot, and he's like, oh, I don't believe in ghosts. Well, let's just say both of them end up running into the thing they didn't believe in, and this requires conflict, and so the kid ends up getting possessed by something that gives him these super cool powers. However, the thing that possesses him is literally a horny grandmother. Like, I can't even begin to describe it. Like, it's so funny when you do read it. You're like, what is this? But it's actually really cool though. Oh, look, I'm not crazy, I promise you. You just gotta read it and it'll all make sense. It'll all make clarity. So I definitely see this series having a ton of potential if it continues on successfully. Now, I don't see it having the same big star potential that Kaiju number 8 has, that JJK Chainsaw Man has, but I do see it having it around maybe a Hell's Paradise level. Again, that's a maybe, who knows. I'm not like a prophet or anything, but I do have a ton of hope for this series, and I really wish it the best. And I think it's probably gonna end up the weirdest manga I've read. Actually, I will say, because it just came to me, I'll give some of my predictions. I think the protagonist, at least the male protagonist that we have, because we're going to have like a duo protagonist type thing here, I think the male protagonist is going to go from this weak, scrawny kid, and the more and more things continue, he's going to become stronger and stronger, and I think turn into the person that the female protagonist was desiring. I think when it comes to the female protagonist, I see her having very much the tsundere development, right? Oh, I don't like you, and I reject it, but it's obvious that I like you. I'm just kind of not showing that I like you because plot demands that. As for the other type of developments she or the male protagonist could go through, I can't really say because we don't know all that much about the characters. However, I think the male protagonist, his development should be pretty obvious, especially in the whole shonen thing with the whole escalation of power and all that. We have a cool mentor character within the series that I think is going to serve more of an outside force type role. I don't know exactly how hands-on or in-depth we're going to get with that character, although it'd be really cool we got her backstory as well. And I think what's really going to be a make or break thing for this series is what it kind of was for Chainsaw Man, and that's the antagonist. If this series is capable of providing an antagonist early on that we can set our eyes on, I think that will be instrumental to the success of this series. And I've said this before, but introducing the big bad antagonist early on within a series definitely brings investment because, again, it is a goal that we can look at, right? The opposing force, it's a big deal. And I think it adds a lot of build up to the character and all the whatnots. Now, of course, there could be other minor antagonists that take the role. It can be an arc-by-arc antagonist, but whatever it is, that character should be shown, I think, in these upcoming chapters. I'm also going to be very curious to see if this is a more personal type journey with a small cast, or if it's going to make it a very big cast with lots of likable characters, which is kind of typical for the type of series we're dealing with, because unless it plans to be long-running like 1,000 chapters, I think it's much better for an author to have a smaller cast to focus more on those characters and bring more layering to them. But other than that, I also think that the comedic tone within the series, specifically in this series, is very unique because not anything this serious and this unorthodox is equally this funny and this off-putting all at the same time. I just finally put my finger on it. This is like a college student who always makes fart jokes and finds them hilarious, wrote a manga and made it really good. This is what it feels like. All that was just some more of my extra thoughts. But yeah, hopefully you do check it out, and if you are new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on the bell notifications, that way you're notified whenever a new video pops up on some of your favorite anime, manga, whatever content. As always, this has been Hades. Hope everyone has a blessed rest of the day, and peace.